God, it sounds like Dave. All right. Hey, we're really back this time. Short intro. Okay, that was short.
Right.
Looks like there's a Facebook problem.
It may or may not be a Facebook problem. It says there might be an issue.
Yeah.
There might not. We'll see what happens.
There's a big orange exclamation point up there on the Facebook thingy.
I saw that. It says it's not available. But that's okay.
We're still dancing on our own.
You are dancing on your own.
I am. If you notice, the Phillies background is a little. We're not going to do this every week. Maybe we will. We'll have to see.
Well, hopefully at least for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, hopefully for the next 8 games.
See, there's Dom found it. No, he probably heard you singing the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were live when I did that. Frank has a good singing voice.
He does. It's lovely.
Yeah. Your overhead mic's wiggling back and forth.
Do you like that? It's definitely not a thing for my fan. Hold on. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to share the YouTube stream onto the book of faces.
Oh, the faces of the book. Dave got into the habit of doing that later in the years. He would put an overhead drum mic. He didn't always do that, but when he was getting fancy, he would put the overhead drum mic.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that was when he was trying to be fancy. Dave was our sound guy when Jack and I were in the band together. Where
we were.
I was not in the band. I was off to the side of the band.
You were an essential support personnel member of the band.
If it wasn't for me, the band would have looked horrible because of my lighting skills.
That's what I'm saying. It was essential. Yeah, I could have used your help Saturday. I was one of our old stomping grounds. I was out of the PC pub.
Nope, not mine. Was there like twice. I hated it. I didn't like it I didn't like it because of the drive.
It's an hour.
Yeah,
it's not bad. We used to drive to the shore. It was multiple hours.
Yeah, Dewey. Oof.
No, I did not drive to Dewey. I drove to Ocean City, Maryland once.
Yeah, this is Dewey's. Dewey's like a half hour closer.
It is. I know. There's a lot. Oh, look. Hey, we're up on Twitch now.
Okay.
So I think there's some streaming issues kicking around, but that's all right.
Yeah, that's okay.
The people can find us. I'm going to share that again real quick. Yeah, I just got the note that we're live there. So, Dom, I'm a little pissed off at your Giants. And by a little bit, I mean I hate the Giants.
So do I, actually.
For different reasons, I think.
No, I'm mad that they beat Baltimore.
Okay, well, look at you.
How's that?
Having my back. I appreciate you.
Yeah. I mean, we won, so it doesn't matter.
That's fair. Yeah.
6-0.
You are 6-0. It's about time.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah. We don't have to hear that this week. You don't need to say that.
Marked safe from hearing how them boys.
YouTube fee. Oh, not Fess. That's fine. People will figure out what it means. Anyway. Yeah. Look, all I remember about the Giants and the Ravens is when we whooped you guys in the Super Bowl. But that was a long time ago. So it's fine.
Yeah. How was your weekend overall?
It was busy. You
did.
The little kid's been sick, and then we had. Hey, look, Dylan found us.
Dylan.
Little one's been sick, and then I was running around for soccer and had 2 games this weekend and a gig. And Friday I had something, but I don't remember what it was already. Oh, I had my older kid's birthday party. Turned 14 last week.
Oh, wow.
So he got the laser tag in. Yeah, he got the laser tag in and stuff. He was born while I was in the Rockets. Look at that. And
14.
Yeah.
2000? No, I don't think I really had a lot of hair back then. I think it was already in the thinning stages.
And 08? Oh, I got a picture of you with Ryan Madsen with not a lot of hair. It's good.
I remember that picture well. We'll talk about that later.
So had that, and luckily I don't have any gigs coming up this weekend. I planned that well without knowing it, because everybody I know got canceled. for some playoff baseball.
Yeah, there was a lot of cancels going on because of the Phillies this weekend. I almost got a ticket Friday. Almost.
Oh, almost.
Yeah, Ange had one in a cart for me, and it was $120, and I couldn't.
It would have been worth it for Friday's game. That was a good game.
Yeah, it really would have been worth it. She was sending videos the whole time.
I'm sure.
If you're local and you're a Philadelphia Phillies fan, actually, if you're a Philadelphia sports fan, this was actually a hell of a weekend.
It was. It's not, and it's going to keep right on rolling.
The
Eagles are off this weekend, but you got the Phils and the Union.
I didn't do anything this weekend but watch baseball.
It's good.
And football.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch hockey.
Wow. Well,
I'm a bigger Flyers fan than I am Eagles fan.
Yeah.
The Flames are 2-0. The Flyers are 2-0. The Eagles are 6-0. And, of course, the Phillies advanced to the National League Championship Series, 8 more wins away from winning another World Series. And I say that as if they win them all the time.
Padres up first. All right.
Padres up first. Tuesday, I think. It's Tuesday, Wednesday there. Friday, Saturday here.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday here.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday here. And then if it's all tied up after Sunday, there's no off day. They go right to San Diego to play Monday.
Yeah, and hey, thanks to Dom for that. Everybody hit the like button. It's your first time on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe for us.
Yes,
we'd appreciate it.
Pushes up the analytics.
Help build that up for us.
But yeah, it was a pretty powerful weekend all around for Philadelphia sports.
Yeah, everybody was on their feet all weekend.
Oh my God. I do have tickets for Friday's game.
Look at you go.
And Ange bought them last week.
Just
in case. And usually I don't like doing that. It's like bad juju. But
yeah. You guys will have to let me know too how everything sounds. I got new toys this weekend with the microphone and stuff. So let me know if it sounds any better or worse than it usually does. But
did you get to watch some stuff?
I did. Nothing out of the ordinary. I was running pretty hard. I was watching. I got a new Pixel watch and a new Pixel phone, which I just threw. See, new Pixel phone. So I was playing with that. I didn't get to watch a lot of out of the ordinary stuff. Got caught up on Stargirl. It's still a show.
Oh, I remember that. That's a CW thing.
It's still on the air. Who knew?
Wow.
Still trying to do its thing. Look, Joel McHale's on it now. And if you ever liked Joel McHale, this show will make you not like him anymore. He's incredibly unlikable on this show.
Now, wait. He was in episodes of Sons of Anarchy, too. And he was horribly unlikable.
Yeah, that's his thing now. He's like, I'm just going to be a dick. I was on Talk Soup for 100 years, and now I'm just going to be a dick.
It was him because he actually, spoiler alert for a 10-year-old show, he slept with Gemma, Jax's mom, and then stole her car and then took it to a chop shop. So they tracked him down and then beat his ass.
I don't remember Joel McHale doing that on that show.
I'm pretty sure it was Joel McHale. Let me see. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe, but yeah, there's that. And Big Sky, I've been watching a little bit. Your boy Jensen Ackles is on there. Reba McEntire. Halloween Ends was on my list, Dylan, but I have two other Halloween movies to catch first.
It was Joel McHale. It was October 2012.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been. Oh, so wait. Before I get to that, I actually watched something that you suggested.
Oh, I did watch something else last week. I forgot.
I watched Battlestar Galactica, the new one.
No, that wasn't it.
Was that it?
No, I suggested Reboot.
I did. I watched the first 2 episodes.
And
it's not like belly laugh funny, but it's funny.
It gets there.
It's definitely funny. I forgot how much I actually enjoy Johnny Knoxville when he's actually in a movie. Like, he's actually really entertaining.
Yeah. So anybody that doesn't know Reboot, and we'll talk. I'm glad you guys saw Halloween Ends. It was definitely on the list. Just didn't get there yet. But Reboot is a story about by Rachel Bloom, who did Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. They're trying to remake a sitcom from 20 years ago, and they get the cast back and they launch it on Hulu. And it's got Rachel Bloom as the head of the show, and Paul Reiser was the original creator who gets sucked in, and Johnny Knoxville, Keegan-Michael Key. It's a great all-around cast.
Judy Greer.
Judy Greer is the name.
And Judy Greer's nipple.
Yeah. Yeah, there was two of them for a second.
Yeah, there was.
But yeah, it's just what would happen. What happens to people 20 years later, and the writing is old school classic sitcom. It's super fun.
Yeah, I the first 2 episodes were really fun. Like I said, I didn't belly laugh at them, but it was definitely I'll keep up with it and watch. What is it? 1 season right now?
It's only 5 episodes right now. It's still in the middle of the season.
Oh shit. Okay, so I caught that at a good time.
Yeah. So you're not stuck in the weeds trying to watch a whole season like most things that I make you try and watch.
Yes. The Halloween Ends thing, I don't know a lot about it. I didn't watch it, but I've seen a lot of social media discussion about it, and it's really getting like major thumbs downs all over the place.
So when they brought back Jamie Lee Curtis 2 movies ago to be Laurie Strode again, that movie got great reviews, and then the second one kind of went downhill, and it looks like this one just continues the trend.
Yeah,
what I've been seeing.
One of the radio shows I listened, well, the only radio show I listened to in the morning, the guy on that show, Sam Roberts, he basically said that when he saw the first one, he's like, okay, this is, they have a possibility of maybe doing 2 out of 3 good movies, and he's like, they ended up doing 1 out of 3 good movies. He's like, the third one definitely doesn't stick the landing, from what I understand.
Well, I guess at some point I'll marathon them and catch up.
But at the same time, Hellraiser is getting really good feedback. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of more positive feedback for Hellraiser.
Dylan mentioned that last week. I don't remember what the thought was on it.
I haven't seen Hellraiser since the original. I can't. I'm not a horror movie guy anymore.
I know.
It sucks. Takes me out of the genre.
But we all liked him when we were in our mid-20s when the first Hellraiser came out.
Yeah, that and Faces of Death.
Everybody saw Faces of Death. It's fine.
How fake that was. God.
I saw it on Saturday going into Easter Sunday. Not sure how I didn't catch fire for going to movies to see Faces of Death 4.
The Faces of Death movie, finding out they were all fake is like finding out that the Leroy Jenkins video for World of Warcraft is fake.
Oh, I didn't know either one of those things.
By the way, that's fake.
That makes me sad.
It makes me very sad too.
So Dylan did see the new Hellraiser. Yes. He said, "You're not missing anything, Frank."
Okay. Gotcha. So I don't have a super ton of general news.
It's all right. It could be a slow news week. There's plenty of plenty of other extremities to talk about.
The biggest thing that happened last week was Robbie Coltrane passed away.
He did. That was over the weekend.
That was over the weekend. He was 72. For those that don't know him, he was Hagrid in the Harry Potter movies. And he was actually, I didn't realize, but he was in an Ocean's 11 movie.
He was in a couple Bond movies too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot of work. He was a big name. They brought in, from British cinema and TV. They brought in for the Harry Potter things, as they did most of them. I didn't realize he was that old when it started.
No, and
but yeah, he was, sorely missed. He was a great proponent. He even said in the documentary they did earlier this year for Harry Potter, where he said, I might not be around, but Hagrid will always be here.
Yeah. He was in Ocean's 12. He played Matsui.
Oh,
I remember.
Yeah, Matsui. Oh, of course.
I remember that. So it was a great scene.
Yeah, I don't remember it at all.
He was in Van Helsing.
The one with Hugh Jackman?
The one in 2004, he played Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, with Hugh Jackman. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of his Harry Potter when everybody thought he was a giant and was 9 feet tall.
Right.
Like, we should cast you as this. You're probably really 9 feet tall.
Hey, he was in 1999's Message in a Bottle.
Oh.
Right? I'm just kind of scrolling back through
the police documentary, right?
Yeah, I don't think that's what that is.
No? Oh.
No, I don't think that's what that is.
Oh, well.
I don't recognize a lot of these, but I'm assuming a lot of these might be British or like.
Probably.
Yeah.
And
the Lenny Henry show, that sounds very British.
Dylan reminded us we have Black Adam coming up this week. Yeah, I'd love to say I'm excited about it, but I'll probably see it Thursday. Maybe?
Robbie Coltrane was in National Lampoon's European Vacation.
Oh, he was the maitre d', wasn't he?
He played man in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Black Adam. Ray texted me today and asked if I was going to see it with him, and I was like, I guess. He's like, when do you want to go? Friday afternoon? I'm like, I got work. I'm not taking off for it.
I'll probably go Thursday night at like 9 or so.
We might go Monday afternoon because I'm off Monday.
It's a long time to wait for the official spoilers to come out versus just the Rock running his mouth.
Yeah, I did read an article that said that The Rock is turning the promotion of Black Adam into a WWE event.
Yeah, he's out of hand.
Robbie Coltrane was in 1980's Flash Gordon.
Oh my God.
He was at Man Airfield.
Oh, all right. Well,
sorry, that's the end of the list for that.
I would hope so. That was almost 50 years ago.
Hey, 80s live on in me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really excited about it.
Black Adam. Yeah, it's we'll see what happens. It could be great. It's going to change the balance of power in the DC entertainment universe. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's apparently what I heard.
But it might be great. Look, it's probably going to be fun. I don't think it's going to be
fun for the whole family.
I don't know about that. I think it's going to end up limiting its audience fairly quickly. But then again, the DC movies since Man of Steel, and I think I even said this last week, are not family fair. Like the only one that was kind of family friendly was Aquaman.
Batman vs Superman?
Yeah, it was Aquaman. It was the only family friendly one they've put out, which for comic book stuff that's made for kids really limits your audience.
A little bit.
And your income from toys, which, Disney kind of has a lockdown on.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. An unopened first generation iPhone from 2007. Still in its original box.
Doesn't work.
Sold for more than $39,000 in an auction.
Can't use it.
You can't because they throttled it.
No, because the network shut down.
Well, they throttled it too.
No, it's gone.
Is it?
They got that. Yeah, there's no more. That was 1X. There's no more 1X. No more network.
You would know more about that.
Yeah, AT&T shut down that spectrum like 7 years ago.
Gotcha. Now they just throttle you to get you to buy new phones.
Yeah.
So I mentioned this to you before the thing, and you were completely blindsided by this.
Oh, I'm nervous.
There's a new Naked Gun movie in development at Paramount.
Yeah.
Do you want to know who they tapped to star?
I would assume it's Ryan Reynolds.
It is not Ryan Reynolds. It has nothing to do with this.
Oh, well, I don't know then.
I could give you 10 guesses and you wouldn't guess. I'm not going to give you that. I'll give you one more.
O.J. Simpson.
No, close. Not close at all.
Eli Manning.
Liam Neeson.
No.
Yes.
I mean, look, he can be funny,
Sure.
but he's entirely too massive of a human being in every way, from what I hear.
So many ways. You beat me to the joke I was going to.
To be able to play Frank Drebin. I mean, unless he's not going to be Frank Drebin.
No, that's. I mean, as far as I'm reading, but can a movie like that work today?
No.
Like in any way?
It can. It just won't be funny.
No.
Because there's too many people to offend with it if you go with the old school version, and there's too few jokes you can make that go across.
I mean, that's a hell of a stretch, isn't it? Like,
look, like I said, he's been funny. I've seen him do comedies. It's been a long time. So
funny
I don't
in the
know.
first Star Wars he was in.
Wow.
Oh wait, that movie was funny.
No, it's just Jar Jar. Jar Jar was the comic relief.
Jar Jar was great.
It was wonderful.
I don't have any problem with Jar Jar.
So yeah, anybody else attached? Is there a writer, director, or just a star?
I got just the star right now.
Okay. From the studio that I think brought you the new Fletch that nobody knew got released.
Right. Let me see. Yeah, so far it doesn't say that Deadline reports the reboot is in the works at Paramount Studio. The film has yet to be greenlit, but once Neeson closes on the movie, it should be. No plot details have been released.
I mean, he is getting a little old to do action, so.
But it has been revealed that Neeson could play the son of Frank Drebin.
I don't know that he could. I mean, Liam Neeson is 70 years old.
Is he?
He is.
Jesus.
He is 70 years old as of June 7th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and Leslie Nielsen, when he played in those movies, was not 70 yet.
No, he was in his late 50s, right?
And the TV show was in the 70s, so he was in his 50s when the TV show was on.
Gotcha. Oh, and we also had another day. Angela Lansbury passed away.
We did. I remember watching
96.
Yeah. I remember watching. I think it was Sunday nights, right? It was Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote. She was one of the voices in the Disney movie with
Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, thank you.
She was Mrs. Potts.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, a phenomenal voice. She was still on Broadway till she was in her 80s.
Yeah,
which is impressive, doing a full show 6 days a week like that. Which is
Betty White was doing the same thing. Betty White was still pretty active.
Yeah,
I think. I honestly don't have any other like normal news. We can actually go into the other
plenty to dive into.
Yeah,
where we want to start? Let's start with Andor. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
All right.
Like, give my dog a minute to bark.
So we finally got through this 3-episode arc, right? We're at the big heist. We get the Festival of Lights, or whatever they were calling it
at Aldhani. Yes,
which was amazing. That part was great.
It was really good. It was really well done.
What did you think overall of where we went and any of the reveals that we got?
I thought it was actually a really good episode. I didn't fall asleep during this one.
Good.
Did you fall asleep during this one?
I don't. Was it this one?
No,
it was last week's. Last week's took me 3 tries. Yeah.
It was just last week's was a setup. This was actually a really good episode. It was action packed. There were a couple of twists, couple of turns.
I thought, killing everybody was fine. I thought it was a bit problematic, the order they decided to kill everybody in, and who didn't make it places. But I thought the heist part was good. It wasn't as suspenseful as I was kind of, because he's going to survive, right? So well,
obviously, yeah,
it's tough. But I thought they could have done a little more to ratchet up the suspense part there of is this going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And maybe knocked some people off earlier on in the process to make it feel like, who's going to die next? Would have been kind of cool, or what's going to get messed up, because everything went pretty smooth until the end, and the radio guy finally realized what was going on.
Right.
But up until then, they got through all the stages pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, you had that bit of a hesitation from the one chick, whether or not almost whether she wanted to go through with it or not.
Yeah, I didn't really get that.
Neither did I.
Or why that was a thing. It didn't make sense. I
tried to think back if I missed something, and there was nothing I missed. That literally was, she just was getting cold feet, it looked like.
What I really didn't understand is why she was the one that was in charge. So I'm wondering if she ends up related to what's his name, Luthen?
Yeah.
Right. If they end up related to each other, or something's tied because she's the only one that's still around, and her girlfriend seems to survive too somewhere on the planet.
Hang on.
And then she's gonna have to get into the planet too, though. That was a lot. He was fired up. So. But the meteor shower shards coming through the atmosphere, I thought was some of the coolest effects I've seen in a long time, and probably one of the better spaceship battles that we've seen all in a Star Wars show, let alone, even some of the movies. I thought this was better. The way they went into it, and kind of the drama there with what was going on with the car going back and where it was coming from. Let us know in the chat what you guys think. And I think this sets us up. I don't know that this did a great job in setting up Andor to go into being with the rebels. So what I heard with next episode is going to be a standalone episode. So I'm guessing that we're going to get some more about how he ends up changing his mind and joining up with the rebels. Maybe it's the manifesto that he ended up taking or was given to him at the end. And we'll see where he ends up from looking at that and deciding if that's going to be what he wants to do going forward. But overall, I thought this episode was a great culmination of that 3-episode arc for the heist. Hey, you're back.
Yeah, then when the dog has to go out, sometimes it's a bit of a I heard 90% of that. I agree, basically, with pretty much everything you said.
That happens sometimes. Look at that.
It does. I'm curious as to where they're going to go from here.
Yeah, I don't know what rebel missions we're going to get, or what we're going to get with, since we do have hints of the Empire having things going on, and what's going to happen tying back over to them. Right, yeah. With the chick popping pills to stay up all night to figure out what's going on with stuff getting stolen and radios getting jammed, and
and you're going to get a time jump at some point in this.
Yeah, but it's only a year.
Yeah, it's not going to be a lot. And then this is a long season though, right? 12.
We've been so messed up with these House of the Dragon time jumps.
Oh my God,
that it's hard to keep track.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that.
Oh, and Rings of Power, the finale. That's what I forgot to talk about earlier.
So I didn't watch any of the show, and there's a twist in this one, right?
Yeah, it's finally you find out who the big bad's going to be for the whole show.
Is it worth listening to and watching than knowing what's coming, or is it more worth it not to listen to what you say?
It's not like an oh my. I mean, it is kind of an oh my God, but they've been the thing with watching it in real time is they've been hinting that it might be that person for weeks.
Well, if you want to go there and you want to talk about that, since I haven't even begun to start this yet, I'm trying to think of when, like, She-Hulk over House of the Dragon ends next week, so maybe it lightens up enough that I can slide down.
Yeah, you're out of shows.
I am.
Well,
no, I'm never out of shows, Jack.
You're out of new shows. Out of new shows.
Friday Night Lights.
So, with Rings of Power, I will say I thought the overall 8 episodes, once it got going, which unfortunately took till episode 7, it was great.
Okay.
It was great. Lots of setup, and then finally when you get there, you're like, oh, all this setup makes sense, like it always does with the Tolkien story.
Right.
So I get why we had to go through all this stuff. And I think there'll be callbacks to callbacks to callbacks for the next 4 seasons.
Oh, really?
They're already filming season 2.
Yep.
I see our Facebook feeds up. Charles, thanks for joining.
All righty. Hey, Charles. Welcome back. Yep, the Winchesters is there also.
So it's good. It's visually stunning at a lot of spots. The storylines have been great. You're starting to get more about the actual rings themselves, but they do juggle a lot of storylines at all times, and there's a lot they still haven't brought together. There's still a mysterious stranger that we may or may not know who it is. I don't think we'll find out till maybe mid next year, maybe season 3. I think the problem we're going to run into with all these things is like I don't want to wait 10 years to watch this 5-season show. That's a long time, right?
It's a huge long time. Let me ask you a question in regards to the way streaming services is set up. Are you happier with the Netflix model, which they're actually kind of moving away from a little bit, of dropping you 10 episodes, boom, watch them all now, or do you like the old school approach, week to week to week?
So it's a toss up, right? So I prefer the week to week.
Right.
However, with the way media has gotten,
yeah,
it's not great because spoilers are out like 3 weeks in, and then it's like, well, why do I waste the next 5 weeks watching this? Whereas if you binge it all in one day to try and beat the spoilers, which is usually what I do,
right?
Which is just a horrible time suck, though.
It is
like it was, when they dropped the Stranger Things finale this year, the 2 episodes that was 4 hours long. It was a solid like 3 hours one morning, an hour and a half the next. It was a lot just to not get it spoiled for me. So, the theories are fun, but I wish that technology hadn't brought me to the point where I can't look at a device without getting spoilers.
Yeah, I've noticed that, especially with Lord of the Rings, which I don't know the twist, and you danced around it enough that I don't know it, and that if anybody that has watched it hasn't said anything yet, thankfully, but Facebook ruins. Twitter is even worse. Twitter is horrible for that, but Facebook completely ruins. It's comicbook.com. That page ruins everything within minutes.
Yeah,
I don't go to them, but it comes up in my feed because they do have some good stuff.
Yeah, and you look for a lot of stuff for here. So I have, as I showed earlier, my fancy Pixel 7 Pro with the cool camera. Anyway, but so my news feed on there pulls up, all these headlines all the time, and I have to skip or just ignore.
Yeah.
The issue with a lot of these sites is the more clicks they're trying to draw, the worse the spoiler in the headline is. Like there was one before I watched Lords of the Rings of Power finale, and I watched it early Friday when it came out.
Right.
The first thing when I woke up was one of those, I can't believe this person's this. I was like,
right.
Really? And then the picture was the person. I'm like, so there's not even a way to just not even read the whole headline. You even have the picture. It was awful.
Or you go completely the other way, and they're not the websites aren't spoiling it. The actors in the shows they're out there spoiling their movies before it's even released, and end credit scenes. And thank you, Dwayne.
I totally
I've avoided it. Dom sent it to me in a Facebook message, and I was like, I don't want to look at it. It's there, and it's so tempting to click on it, and I know I can find it. And
he doesn't say it. Like it's not like blatant.
Right. Oh,
but he implies. Oh, I watched it like a week and a half ago. Yeah. He implies what's going to happen.
Gotcha.
Which I think is he's like, I don't think anybody's going to go see my movie.
Yeah.
Here's why you should go see my movie. It's going to be great because of this.
Because you have to wait for the end credits to see this.
I don't remember I don't know where the end credit spoiler piece came from. I didn't see that. Maybe somebody in chat can tell us.
But don't tell us the spoiler.
No, don't say the spoiler. I just don't say where it came out. I saw him, and one of his things was like, Black Adam's the most powerful person on the planet. And he said some other stuff afterwards, but nothing like spoiled anything.
Look,
and it could have been setting up for another movie. Could have been the end credits. Could have nothing to do with it, and he's playing a game.
It could be.
But then the problem is they didn't have a gag order on the preview for it, I don't think, because I started seeing critics' reviews a week ago.
I don't think they wanted to have a gag order on it because they want people to go see it.
Well, yeah, DC doesn't like those gag orders. Same way Marvel's like, you can't write anything till Thursday night at midnight.
Right.
Whereas DC's like, just whatever you want, tell us.
Get people to come and see it, please.
Yeah. Just post about it. Come on.
I'll tell you what. There's only one part of this whole movie I'm a little bit excited to see.
Amanda Waller.
No.
Oh.
No.
By the way, Amanda Waller's in this movie in charge of the Justice Society for some reason.
Right. Dr. Fate is because I like Pierce Brosnan and I think he's going to do a good job.
I love the Dr. Fate character.
Right.
I'm probably going to be super annoyed at the way that they approach the Dr. Fate character in this movie.
It's definitely not going to be like the Smallville version.
I don't even remember the Smallville version, but
yeah, he was good.
He's an integral part of Young Justice. They do all sorts of cool stuff with him in Young Justice and developing that character.
Oh yeah, they didn't do that in Smallville.
And just in all of the comics over the years, everything they did with Dr. Fate, like he's got a really cool, rich history and dates back to ancient Egypt. So I want to see how they're going to pull that in on here.
Marvel?
We can do Marvel.
Marvel will save the dragons.
We'll save the feet.
We'll take our shoes off and do the dragons thing in a couple minutes.
My camera's Friday night. I don't know. I'm not that flexible in my old age.
All right, I'll lean back and I'll put them up.
I'll start stretching now. By the time we get there, I'll
put them on a glass.
It's fine. I need somebody killed later on. So,
by the way,
do
you remember that thing? Remember G4 TV?
I do remember G4 TV. I remember the original G4 TV.
And then Comcast brought it back.
Yeah.
And they said, we're done.
Yeah, I haven't watched it because I don't have Comcast. But
Yeah, they canceled it.
was it on Peacock?
I don't remember where it was. I didn't watch it either because isn't that where, what was it? Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn, Chris Hardwick.
Chris Hardwick, Krista Bell was on it, I think.
No. But there was a ton of different.
Was it it was Sarah Underwood. She was a Playboy.
There was a ton of people from G4 that were. That's where I developed my love for Ninja Warrior, not American Ninja Warrior.
Right.
But the original. They used to run marathons of that all the time.
I remember. I enjoyed it. I thought that channel was great. Just like Nintendo Power.
Oh, I don't remember that either.
You don't remember the magazine Nintendo Power?
No, I wasn't a Nintendo guy. I did not own a Nintendo product until 2014.
Oh, I had the old Nintendo with baseball stars. You had to blow in it and smack the side of it.
Nope. I went to friends' houses. I had a PC. I was a PC guy young. I didn't have any games. I had an Odyssey. I don't even remember the Odyssey.
I have an Odyssey. I have an Odyssey in my shed. I have in the box in the shed.
That's amazing. Yeah, I had not. That was my gaming console until I was in college.
My gaming console. I had. So hold on, She-Hulk. I had an original. I had Atari 5600.
Okay.
2600. Wait, 20. The original Atari.
Yeah.
Okay. When Pac-Man first came out, and it was like $60, and it was the most expensive video game ever. And E.T. that was the worst video game ever.
So great.
I loved it. I had a great time with it. But anyway, I had an Atari. I had a ColecoVision.
Okay.
I have the Odyssey that was my uncle's, and a Commodore 64 was my John.
Look at you go.
I still have the Commodore 64 in the shed.
Pete
also
set you straight in the chat.
Atari 2400. Thank you, Pete. Pete will know. My friend Danny had his uncle was in the Air Force, and he sent them this thing, and it was like the inside of a cartridge, and it had a slot for 2 microchips, and you would put the 2 microchips in and lock them, and that's how they got their games, because he would send them the microchips versions of the games.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's how we played Spider-Man. Remember the Spider-Man game on Atari?
No.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
I can imagine.
It was so bad. But yeah, that the Commodore 64 was my John.
Yeah, I was straight into PCs in like 82 or 83. I started playing the King's Quest games.
I was a big Zork fan.
Zork, Wishbringer, played Wishbringer. Yeah. I never beat any of them.
Nope. Then
I think I eventually beat Zork, but I think I went to a bulletin board to download the directions on how to beat it and what exact commands to type. For the kids listening, back in the day, there wasn't graphics to a lot of these games on PC. It was legit. You had to type in what you wanted to do, and it was just an if this then that response.
Yep.
So if you put this it says that. If you put this, it says no. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, and that was how the games worked. And then they started doing some like King's Quest, and Sierra came out with some that were like third person
Bard's Tale
games. Bard's Tale was an RPG based on D&D. It was a great series.
You're right, Pete. It was the 2600, not the 2400. Thank you.
So they but all those and that was still like a turn-based, but not any real graphics. Just the picture changed.
There was one game called Dig that had Robert Patrick as the voice, and I was so excited because Robert Patrick voiced a character in this game, but so I didn't beat Zork until the actual internet came out, and I could then go to the internet and find.
That's what I was saying. That's what I meant. The bulletin board.
Yeah. That's
back in the days of dial-up.
Then I went and re-downloaded Zork and followed that damn guide and beat the game. It was like, yes, 30 years later.
I had the trilogy: Zork 2, Zork 3, and Beyond Zork. I think there was one.
The Wizard of Frobaz.
There you go.
I think it was.
So
I read the books. I loved the books.
So that was but I did not have a PlayStation gaming system until PS2 that was bought for me in 2004.
PlayStation 2 was my big one, and then I ended up switching to the Xbox.
Yeah.
And it's been all uphill since.
Well, you got to find my kid on Xbox, and then
my language is a little.
Yeah, his is too. Just don't tell him that I know what he's saying.
All right. So in the Marvel world, before we get to the She-Hulk thing, There's a hot rumor. It's been almost all but confirmed by a really reliable source.
Blade's coming out next week. It's
Blade
all been
is
a lie.
actually done filming and coming out. The sequel is on its way. No.
They've recast Wesley Snipes as Blade.
That was the other thing. No.
Oh.
Harrison Ford.
Oh, God damn it.
Is Thunderbolt Ross.
So which Thunderbolt Ross is this?
He's going to be making his debut in Captain America: New World Order.
All right, when does that come out? What are the odds?
Harrison Ford will be 904 when he makes his debut in the MCU.
Yeah. And so he's replacing William Hurt? Is that what the story is?
So they haven't said. So Harrison Ford was hesitant at first about taking on the role in another franchise like this, and he was really good friends with William Hurt, so he didn't want to step in his shoes. There's no response from Disney yet, but this is one of those like super inside Disney insiders that is usually right on a lot of stuff.
So Ford is 80 years old.
And Captain America: New World Order comes out when?
2024.
So that will make him.
So he'll be 81 when he's filming.
Right.
82 when it comes out.
You think he's going to walk through any doors?
Pete, what's our line and how much are we going for? I'm in on this pool.
I'll bet a quarter.
On what day of filming does Harrison Ford make it to? Because he's also got to do CGI work, likely.
You think?
We're due for a Red Hulk. That's where Thunderbolt Ross has been leading all this time.
Yep.
But so he's going to make his debut there, and then I would assume he'll be a major character in the Thunderbolts, being Thunderbolt Ross. Because I don't think we ever established that William Hurt's General Ross was General Thunderbolt Ross.
No, he was Thaddeus, right?
Right. Well, yeah, and in the comics, his nickname is Thunderbolt.
Right.
I don't remember if we ever got Thunderbolt in the movies, though.
Don't remember that either.
And it's a lot of movies that I'd have to go back and watch.
Man, that means I get more mumbling Ford. I can't wait.
You do, and little
pew pew.
Yeah.
Think they'll give him a whip?
I do. It'll be
So there's no word on whether Ford will also be appearing in the Thunderbolts movie. He will be in Captain America: New World New Order, allegedly. No word on if he'll be in any TV shows or anything like that.
Yeah,
this might just be a one-off.
Yeah, but why bother?
But how? Right. Like, why bother? It doesn't make a lot of sense if it's a one-off.
No.
Maybe he's taking it one project at a time, because God knows if he's going to make it through.
But the Thunderbolts movie is going to be filming like concurrently with Captain America, because they come off 4 months apart.
Well, then maybe he'll be in it, and it's easy enough to just CGI the Hulk.
Look, they could do something similar if there's crossover with characters between these two movies. They could do similar to what they did with End War and Infinity Game. Wow, Infinity War and Endgame.
There you go.
Strike that. Reverse it.
Good catch up.
So yeah, I mean, they could do the same thing and just roll it all together and film scenes for one during the other, which would be smart. Yeah. I don't think we have a director for Thunderbolts yet, if I remember right. So we'll see where we end up there.
I don't think so.
So, but before all that, She-Hulk had to end.
What did you think of the finale?
I enjoyed the finale a lot because I had changed my expectations of the show weeks ago. I finally accepted that, like, it doesn't exactly what they ended up doing with the finale. Right. Like, I finally accepted, like, I don't need this huge fight scene and all this craziness and this and that. I just want a fun show that gets Tatiana Maslany doing her thing. And we throw some extra cameos and stuff in there, but it can all exist outside of regular Marvel.
Right.
Like, Daredevil can be how Daredevil is on this show.
But the very, very end, the end credits tag, right? Was it the end credits? No.
We got a tag.
Yeah, that's canon now, right? Like,
which tag do you the Hulk boy?
Yeah.
It is, Which I don't know what the point of introducing that was.
Well, so a few things about this that I read.
What did you think of it before we get
What did I think of it? I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was absolutely. I threw away the same thing you did. I threw away any thoughts of being serious with this show. This show was left and right taking shots at the Marvel trolls, and I thought that was fantastic. And I thought we've got all this serious stuff and all these shows and all this serious, and this comes along and it's a breath of fresh air. It's different. It's funny. Like, that's why I liked WandaVision so much, because at one point WandaVision was totally different.
Yeah, WandaVision was great till like the last couple episodes, and then it was just shit the bed. But the first couple were fantastic.
What we'll do next week when we have more time, we can then set our order of the shows, because we're running late now, and
yeah, I'll give you time to rewatch WandaVision and stuff.
I will not yet, but so I thought it was absolutely sensational. A couple of the things that I read was Todd, the King Hulk, no longer has Hulk powers. Yeah, he confirmed that's out. Like that didn't actually, he doesn't have powers. So that's good.
It is.
Right.
It kind of negates the whole plot for the entire show, though, to get our blood.
Absolutely does. Let me start off by telling you that the opening credits of the show were freaking sensational. The callback to the original Incredible Hulk.
Oh my God! Yes, I forgot about that.
Amazing.
And the fact that it pulled Mark Ruffalo in, looking like Bill Bixby.
Dude, it was so good. So, director Kat Corio reveals that Marvel Studios considered bringing back Edward Norton's Hulk for a cameo in the finale.
That'd be great.
That would have been awesome, right?
If the one that showed up at the barn had been Ed Norton.
Oh my God.
And not Mark Ruffalo.
Yes.
Or even
that's exactly what they were going to do, is swap them out.
Oh yeah, that would have been great.
Right.
So he's the one with the thing against Abomination.
Right. So the whole like when it went to the title screen, I literally sat there for a minute and went, what the hell just happened? Like, I'm sure most people did.
Right.
Like, I waited and I heard the talking and I was like, all right, this is weird. And then, she popped out and jumped into
that's the kind of stuff she used to do in the John Byrne run that everybody's been waiting for, where she literally broke the fourth wall, not just talk to the writer.
So some of the stuff I was reading, the showrunner actually wanted Kevin Feige to be in that room at the end. And he was like, absolutely not, no way.
Yeah.
Then she wanted the hat on the robot.
That'd have been amazing.
And he said no. He's like, he said that there's no reason, it doesn't make sense for the robot to have a hat on. And she said, of all the stuff we're doing, this is where you're having your problem. This is the one thing. And he went, yes, it doesn't make sense. So what they did was they built the robot. And if you missed it, the robot does have the hat. It's built into the robot.
Got it.
He does actually have the Feige hat.
Yeah, I noticed it looking kind of like that.
And she said a lot of weird, a lot of meta stuff in there. She dropped the X-Men's name for the first time in a Marvel show. Yeah. I thought it was fantastic. I thought they did such a good job.
I think one of the things that DC has done well is having not giving a shit about continuity, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm okay if Marvel bows out of continuity every now and again to just tell a different story in that universe. And so, hey, it's still tied and there's still people, but like in a comic book, right? For example, which, we know Feige's actually a fan of the comics. Yep. You would get a guest writer in for an issue and it would be completely different. Like I was just reading, I'm reading through Daredevil and I just got through Born Again, the actual original Frank Miller version of it. And then the issue after that is written by this guy, Mark Grunwald, who wrote Captain America through the 80s and into the 90s.
Right.
And it's about this character, Madcap, that has nothing to do with anything. And it's a complete one-off story with a completely different feel and vibe and the whole 9 yards from everything you just read.
Right.
And then the next issue is back to normal. And it's fine. It's okay to tell different stories because a different writer came in. right? And I think we've all gotten away from acknowledging that. I mean, like, we just want Kevin Feige to write all our stories, and Kevin Feige's like, I'm gonna let this guy tell this story this way,
right?
And this is the first person that actually took the liberties that were given to them.
Yep.
And said, we're gonna change it. We're not gonna make it just like everything else you've seen. You always see this big fight at the end of every goddamn Marvel show and every movie, and it's the same fight that nobody gives a shit about. Instead, we're gonna twist that on its head.
Yep.
I don't think Dom was a big fan of the She-Hulk show.
Yeah, no.
What I'm getting the vibe from in the chat with
so Jessica Gal said that Scar's appearance was actually Kevin's idea. They wanted to have a big cameo at the end. They wanted to do something, and they weren't sure who they could get or anything. And then they tried to think of what new thing could we bring up. And Kevin Feige said, do Scar. So he's the reason that Scar exists now, is because he wanted him in there. So where it goes from here, again, the man's got a warehouse with a whiteboard and all this shit written down.
Look, he'll be in the Young Avengers.
Which
unfortunately, the way they're doing things, by the time we get the Young Avengers,
they won't be the Young Avengers.
They will be the middle-aged and balding Avengers.
Yeah.
At that point, because Florence Pugh will be like in her late 30s by the time we get there, and Kate Bishop, what's her name, will also be in her like mid 30s. So but they will still be younger than Jeremy Renner, who they'll probably still be putting out in a wheelchair to do something.
Yeah.
But I think they had to do that just to continue that setup and because right now the Young Avengers is pretty lame, to be honest with you, from a power standpoint. Right? There's no powers in there. We're going to get stature in the Ant-Man Quantumania, where Cassie's going to start doing stuff.
Right.
So I mean, you'll have Cassie, you'll have Hawkeye, you'll have the new Black Widow. You might have the twins, because they are Young Avengers, the Maximoff twins.
We're getting Billy. I mean, we're getting MODOK in.
Yeah, but he's not a Young Avenger. And then you get Scar, and now you have like the new version of the Avengers lineup, right? That's like complete and has all the different power sets that you need.
Yeah.
I thought Daredevil coming back again was like great for this show.
Yes.
I don't think it has anything to do with what we'll see Daredevil in for Born Again or in Echo,
unless she makes an appearance,
which I'll take. But
now they asked her. She was asked a couple different times, Tatiana, about a possible second season, and she said at this point she has no idea.
So to take this back again to the comics with Daredevil,
yes.
So there's a long stretch as I'm going back through and reading it to probably finish by the time the next series comes out. He had a long history with Black Widow.
Oh,
where they were an item off and on and here and there from like early days in Daredevil, when Black Widow would cameo in all sorts of different comic books and never have her own run, but she'd show up and stuff. So she would float in and out. And again, what I was just talking about, right? Like she would come into Daredevil's story for like an issue and then disappear.
Right.
And they come back like a year later for something else. So I think it's great that they set that up. And if they set up, She-Hulk as that, awesome. Let's see what She-Hulk does now, because she has no job.
Yeah.
Or does she? Did she get her job back at the end? I don't think they set that up, right?
She didn't. They didn't say if she did or she didn't. The thing at the end was just a big family barbecue where Uncle Larry was being Uncle Larry.
Yeah. No, it was the uncle showed up.
Cousin Larry. That's right. The uncle showed up.
The uncle started coming in hot on Murdoch.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was a blast.
Yeah. Now we go to the last spoilery thing we have. House of Feet.
Oh,
should have changed that. Should have changed that to House of Feet spoilers. This was the first episode that we get without Damon and Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra? Words are being weird again. Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Yes. So this was the first episode that we got without her. We got some other stuff we never thought I would ever see. I will check my DM for funny meme in a moment.
No, what did I send you last night?
Oh, God.
It said, hey, you remember all that hot sex we had in Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
We're going to just make it so weird and not hot and creepy. That's where we're gonna go with anything
God.
intimate, whether it be incest or
Dude,
foot fetishes or
I
whatever.
look, man. I
So weird.
Tom said they definitely had a plot afoot.
So this episode, before they even got to that, right, which was weird. It was I was texting. I said it's just an uncomfortable episode.
It was
Like I was so annoyed watching it that I was like, I hope this just ends and everybody gets blown up because I hate everything about this episode. So maybe
like,
it was really good and it was doing its job.
So here's my problem. Last episode was so good, so good that this is supposed to be the penultimate episode where something big is supposed to happen. And yeah, there's a couple of big things that happen. But right off the bat, can Kristen Cole just do whatever the hell he wants to do?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Insane, right?
Like, I mean, what he did has massive ripples down the line. Like, there's ripples all over the place from this episode. But he just killed the dude.
And the fact that they have what's his name, Tavish Scott McTavish,
the
Lord Commander,
what
they had, Lord Arms, whatever, yeah. Like he's not an unknown. Like he's a fairly well known actor and like a pretty big deal to have in their role. To just not use him all season is crazy to me.
Right.
And then they get a chance there to let him really step up and do something. And
nothing.
I was hoping get rid of Kristen Cole because that character just
apparently not.
The shit out of me.
It's like every week. I don't know if you said it or if I read it in a meme. It's just like every week. It's like, let's make these characters older. Let's age them up. Let's just shade Kristen's hair just a tiny more bit of gray. That's all we're gonna do for him.
I think it was I sent you that. Oh, it was the TikTok
meme,
thing,
right?
Yeah.
The TikTok. So he kills Lord Lyman Beesbury, and they lock Princess Rhaenys, Princess Rhaenys in her room, and then they're gonna so it looked like they tried to make Alicent likable after making her so awful for a couple episodes in a row. It looked like they actually were really trying to make her likable again, and obviously one guy really likes her.
But it's one of those, like, if it's, I think the part that's driving me nuts is this is all based on her not understanding one sentence.
Right.
Is like,
right.
So insane to me.
Sure. That
there's no stopgaps in there. And Viserys had nobody. No. I get he was crazy and kind of out of it by the end of but had nobody on his side set up anywhere in the castle. Like it doesn't make sense. There's one guy that was on his side.
So
with a really soft head.
It looks like this was what Otto wanted all along, was this happening.
Right.
Right. And he's actually like coming off as one of the bigger villains of the show again. He wasn't. He also
hasn't aged a day since the first
episode. Not at all. Not at all. And there was a whole bunch of different like little subplots going on this whole thing. The two twin knights, Eric and Eric,
that are obviously on opposite sides of the.
Well, I read something that gives their backstory that actually happens in the books, and it's yes. There's a whole thing that happens with them that's a little bit of a smaller subplot.
Well, we saw Eric's going to be back next week, and he's spoilers for next week.
Eric or Eric?
Yes, pledging. It was Eric because Eric's the one that freed Rhaenys.
Right. So the minute all those people gathered inside the dragon, they were in the dragon pit. The minute all those people came in there, I was like, something is going to happen. Something is going to happen here. And sure enough, she gets her dragon. Fuck all the peasants, because she don't care. She just comes right up through the floor.
It was rowdy.
She cared nothing about the peasants at all. And she could have ended everything right there. One word.
Right. And it makes zero sense to me that she said, I'm just going to see how this plays out now.
And
Like,
I
even just to get him back for locking her in a tower
right,
would have made sense, right?
right.
Like,
And I texted you and I was like, if all she has to do is say that one word, and the next episode is just Damon and Rhaenyra just laughing. You could just get 40 minutes of them just sitting in their chairs laughing.
yeah.
like they let her get her dragon.
That would have been so much better.
Right. And Bob's a friend of mine who's he doesn't like social media, so he's going under Bob. I agree. I really wanted to. I get why they didn't do it, because again, then you have nothing going forward. Like, you literally just flushed 3 seasons down the toilet right there. But I don't know. So next episode, it looks like we're going to get all the dragon fighting.
I don't think so. I think we'll get a lot of setup.
Let me go back to the foot thing for a second. Did you realize what was going on when she took her shoes off?
No.
I had, until she took her stockings off and put her bare feet on the table, I had no clue what was going on. Like, I was watching the score of the Eagles game, but I'm paying attention to this. And the minute he started to reach his hand, I was like, oh, no, you're not. Okay.
Yeah, that was like, they didn't have to go that far with it. Like, they'd already gone far enough.
No, see, Bob, I didn't recognize it. And now Dom, in the Facebook group we're in, Dom replied to my post and said, of all the things that they've done in this show, this is where your line is. And I said, yes, this is my line. Incest? Cool, got it. Kill kids? Cool, got it. Foot fetish? I'm out.
Yeah. It was super weird. Just I don't know why we had to go that route. Not like I'm out because of it. Just I don't know why we needed to go there. Like, did we not know Laris was weird? Did you like, oh, weird. Do you think he's weird? Wait till you see how weird. Like, I don't care. Is like, it a foot? And did you notice before? Now that I think about it, they kept zooming in on his feet being crippled.
Yes, and I did
like drive home why he liked nice feet.
I still didn't pick up on it.
No,
like, I understand it now.
I wish they would have just like shown Quentin Tarantino like filming this part, and they would be like, "Oh, now I get."
There were so many memes about Quentin Tarantino directed this episode. Quentin Tarantino had a hand in this. There's House of Feet spoilers. I just wow. And then there was a whole bunch of people questioning, well, where was Damon and where was everybody else? Well, technically, they were on their way back to Dragonstone, so they didn't know any of this happened.
Which I find hilarious, right? Because like they have dragons.
Yes.
But they only ride them when convenient.
Yes, they don't use them for.
Yes. They'd rather use boats and take 3 months to get places instead of like a couple
they can
hours.
Cuddle and then they can do their stuff on the boats.
Well, she's pregnant. So what is interesting though, because I don't know if you saw that George R. R. Martin talked about this last week. There is a 4th kid.
Yes, nowhere to be found.
That they keep ignoring. I even saw an article today that was like, these are the children, and they totally ignore the fact that there's a 4th.
Yeah, I didn't read into why that kid isn't around, and there was a reason, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, and we haven't really gotten to meet. You know, I there's gonna have to be another time jump for next season.
Maybe
there has to be. Well, no, because you need Aegon the Younger. That's the one, right? Like that's the prophesized one. It's not Aegon the Elder.
The one that has the crown now, or the other one?
That's Aegon the Older. From the books, apparently, is Aegon the Elder and Aegon the Younger.
Okay.
This one who just got the crown and should have been fried because he is the older.
Okay.
The younger is Rhaenyra's kid.
Gotcha.
With Daemon. Because they have 2, and I think they're supposed to have another kid after that.
Yes. So the crown that this Aegon
they're going to have to age them up to make them relevant.
But nobody else is going to age.
No, just Aemon, they shouldn't age at all. He's done.
Nobody will age. It's just going to be those. The kids are going to age up, and the parents are stuck in a time loop of never aging.
Yeah, which is fine for most of them, but the chick they cast for Alicent just isn't going. You're not going to make her look old. This is not going to happen.
Well, no, you can't do that.
But I mean, they're younging up the look of the girl that plays Rhaenyra now.
Think they'll age her feet?
only if Larys is lucky.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the last 10 minutes of the episode more than I enjoyed the rest of the episode.
yeah, I'm excited for next week and to see what happens. I like I said, this episode got good by the end, but for so much of it, I was just like uncomfortable watching it.
I want to know when is Kristen going to get like.
And I want to know who it's going to be. That's what I want to see.
I hope it's Damon. I hope it's Damon.
I hope it's not. I hope it's one of the kids.
No? The kid with the eye patch?
No. One of the strong
Oh,
kids.
one of the other. Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be good.
But they're going to have to age them up to make it happen.
Right. So you could just shade his hair a little bit grayer.
Yeah. All of them. That's all they're going to do with the kids.
He is a simp.
You're going to get, 2 years before the next season because it's not even filming yet.
So Martin said that this story needs to have 4 seasons to take place.
That's fine. They can do 4, but I don't want it to take 8 years.
No.
And I feel like that's where we're going to be because,
well, probably.
Just nuts.
No. That's all I got, man.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for everybody that was able to find us. Sorry for the technical issues. That was on StreamYard, not on us.
That's Facebook.
And Facebook. Yeah, StreamYard went fine to YouTube and Twitch and had some problems going to Facebook. But hey, you can always catch us on the podcast. If you missed the beginning, go listen to it. It'll be dropping by tomorrow morning.
Yep.
We'll be fixing some of the glitches we've had with getting that updated for you so you can listen to it on your drive-in for whatever you missed. But go ahead and drop us a 5-star rating and a review there, and like us, and we'll talk to you guys next week where we talk House of Dragon finale and all the other fancy stuff that's going to come out.
Wow.
Maybe some Black Adam.
Hopefully I'm still dancing on my own.
Yeah. Thanks for finding the Geek Spot, everybody.